we are on your side as SNAP benefits are about to expire for millions of people around the country amid the government shutdown.
That's right. More than 24 states, including Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, are now suing the federal government, trying to force it to fund SNAP benefits. We're joined live now by New Jersey's Attorney General Matt Platkin to talk about the lawsuit. Good morning, Mr. Platkin. Thanks for your time this morning. So you and other attorneys general, you're arguing that the federal government should be using contingency funds to pay for SNAP. Explain what you want to happen here.
Look, SNAP funds food for some of the most vulnerable Americans, 40 million Americans. In New Jersey, it's over 800,000 people, including about 350,000 children. There is no more critical program than SNAP. And there are contingency funds that Congress puts in place specifically to make sure SNAP keeps running in times of emergency. And here we have a situation where a week before the start of the month, Congress or the administration is telling states like New Jersey and Pennsylvania that they're not going to fund food services for the lowest income and most vulnerable Americans. I never thought we'd get here as a country. And so this lawsuit is basically just saying, use the billions of dollars that Congress put in place specifically for this purpose to make sure children, seniors, and other vulnerable people don't starve.
So what's the timeline on something like this? Could this actually be reversed, and could they release the funds in time for the deadline on Saturday?
Well, we're moving as quickly as we can. I can never predict what a court will do, but we certainly are doing everything in our power to get what you just said to happen. And we've been very successful in lawsuits against this administration. We've actually been historically successful, and that's because this administration has consistently violated the law in ways that hurt people. And in this case, they're refusing to pay funds that they have because they want to use vulnerable seniors and children as political pawns.
Now, we should know that the administration is arguing that contingency money is not legally available, in their words. At this point, do you think there's a chance that New Jersey could follow states like Virginia, where the governor there declared a state of emergency so that they get some emergency state funding in to fill that gap in SNAP benefit funding?
Well, I know Virginia didn't join the lawsuit, so they're not doing everything that they could do. And I want to thank Governor Shapiro for joining in Pennsylvania. Look, the governor here, Governor Murphy, I know is doing everything he can, and our cabinet agencies are doing everything they can to protect these benefits. But these are federally funded benefits. Again, they support food for low-income, vulnerable Americans. To say that these funds cannot be legally used when the plain text of the law that Congress passed putting these funds in place allow them to be used in this circumstance, and they've used contingency funds to fund other programs. They've just chosen not to fund SNAP because specifically they think it will put their political opponents in a more difficult political posture. Children and seniors should not have their food security used for political purposes. They should use the contingency funds that are available. They should make sure people have meals and can eat as they're entitled to under the law.
New Jersey Attorney General Matt Platkin, thank you so very much for joining us this morning. We appreciate your insights.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be watching to see what happens with that lawsuit.